Okay, welcome to Pop Rock Radio. How you going, Radical Son?
I'm well, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing really, really well. All the better now for meeting you. I've read lots about you and I've heard your music, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. How'd you find the music?
Powerful. Really powerful. We play, where is it? Until You Call My Name on our radio station on Pop Rock Radio. Every time I hear it, it's very powerful because I think every time I hear it, it's makes me feel different. I feel something different in the song. It's quite powerful. But you've got your new single, Yuluwirri, Wandabaa. Is that correct? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Gamilaroi language.
Yeah. Yeah, so tell us all about it, yeah.
Yeah. So the single, Yuluwirri Wandabaa, it's off the album Belong now, which we're dropping on the 12th of July.
Yep.
Do you want me to tell you about the Yuluwirri Wandabaa?
Yeah, tell us all about it, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I absolutely love that song. It's got Frankie Yama and Emma Donovan on it.
Yep.
People that I've collaborated with on a number of different things, but we're connected through Wandabaa. I'm on the label.
Yep.
Wandabaa, based there in Melbourne.
Yep.
I don't know if you know anything about Wandabaa, but the more I learn about it, it's quite amazing. So, for example, Jammu Dream and Archie Roach's album done there.
Yep.
Christine Anu, her first album done there.
Yep.
You know, Emma's been through there, Kutcha's been through there, Frankie Yama's on the label, as am I.
Yep.
And I've had many opportunities to work with Wandabaa and work with other artists on their label from overseas. This album is number 2 that I've done with them.
Yep.
We did Cause and Effect with them as well.
Yep.
Almost 10 years ago. So, a little bit of time between drinks, but here we are again.
Yep.
And Yuluwirri Wandabaa is one of those singles. So it's a song about ceremony and culture, and it's something that I truly do believe in. I'm not a religious man, but I do believe that in the depth of our culture and country.
Yep. How did you, I always ask our artists when we have them on here, how do you get into the process of writing the song and creating that song?
It's different for everyone, I imagine, especially folk like myself who can't play musical instruments, right?
Yep.
So it means everything that I have to do in terms of music has to be done as a collaboration.
Yep.
I was lucky enough in the early days when I started, there was a gentleman came to one of our shows who was a producer, and with him, Marcus Longfoot from Full Circle Audio, a studio in Redfern. But basically, the way I write songs, it's either, I'm just writing down on a notepad. Not so much notepad these days. Now that we have these mobile phones, it's when the idea comes, I can just sing into it.
Yep.
And then obviously some ideas are better than others. A lot get thrown away.
Yep.
But I'll take that to guys that I'm working with and different musicians that come to then start to build the song. Their style then influences the sound as well.
Yeah.
So that's the most common way that I write.
Yep. No, too easy. So doing the collaboration with Emma Donovan and Frank Yama, how was that?
Oh, it was great. So Emma and I kind of go way back in terms of our paths crossed, 20 years ago when we were in Redfern. We were both studying at Eora. It's at TAFE.
Yep.
We're both doing basic music courses. But in this instance, for this song, I wrote the words and we asked Emma if she'd sing that verse, which she did. And then in terms of the song, when it was just about finished, we, having access to Brother Frank, we asked him to do something on it, and, he just sung a few words and made it even more special.
Yeah, no, it's a very good song. It's great. I was listening to it just a couple of minutes ago and had it on repeat. Great song. I want to also ask you about Until You Call My Name, because I think that's a pretty powerful song, and every person who listens to a song gets a different message from it. I want to find out your side of the story from the song.
Yeah, so this song's got one of my favourite verses in it as well. So knowing myself, knowing my journey and my challenges, I'd like to share my experiences in the hope to help others. I know that there are many that would lend a hand, but for change to happen, we must really want it ourselves. Most importantly, we must put in the work, right?
Yeah, yeah. So Until You Call My Name, where did that come from? How did you come up? Yeah, what part of the journey is that? Yeah.
Well, for those who don't know, I'm an older man now. I did start music later in life, and I'd like to think I'm a little bit wiser, but made too many mistakes, bro. And it's not just me who suffers; it's others as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think how old the world is, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Why people still have to learn from the book of hard knocks.
Yeah.
Why can't we learn from the mistakes of others? It's crazy. I personally believe we can prevent a lot of suffering by teaching the right story to the young. And that's the thing about our culture. We've got so many stories, but we're just not teaching them.
Nah.
Within those stories, like there's lessons there on how to be and how not to be.
Yep.
But we all think that our own stories are the most important.
No, sometimes the story of listening to someone else is just as important. You can, like you said, you can learn a lot more from listening to someone else and learning from their experiences, which was leading me to one of the questions that I had lined up for you was, did you have any in your musical journey? Because I believe you were originally a hip hop artist. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to be when I started.
Yeah. So what role models did you have when you first entered the music industry and wanting to learn?
The producers that we'll use the word discovered me.
Yep.
They had a lot to do with it. I was on heroin when I first met those guys, and one of them particularly was an ex-addict as well.
Yep.
Very strong about, look, we can't work with you if you're, dealing with that stuff.
Yep.
Having lost people and knowing the road that he'd gone down.
Yep.
They gave me little other things that really helped too, like one of the bits of advice they gave me was they really wanted to steer me away from singing covers.
Yep.
And so for a good, maybe 5-10 years of my beginnings was just singing my own songs.
Yeah.
So I was forced to write, and that was a good thing to have this material, but also encouraged me to, reflect in terms of what is it that I'm going to write?
Yeah.
How is it that I want to be seen and represented? How is it do I believe that I can help others?
Yep.
That deep sense of reflection and the healing that came with it being a cathartic experience as well. These are some of the positives that I experienced through the music.
Yep.
It gave me little tips like whenever you turn up to a show, always rock up already dressed. It's like a lot of people it's like a costume that you put on to perform, but somehow by writing my own songs and all that too, I was able to, although I have a stage name, it's still a lot of it is me.
Yep. So how did you come up with the name Radical Son?
Just knowing that I was different, like just feeling different. Like I was raised by an Aboriginal woman, single mother, not different there. A lot of people do that.
Yep.
I know Aboriginal Tongan um, uh, is a kind of a popular mix.
Yep.
You know, we've got a lot of black and white. We've got a lot of other mixes with the Aboriginal race, but there's some that are kind of unique. Now, I hadn't met many Aboriginal Tongans. I know there's a lot down in NRL. We've got Fred Leone and a couple of other singers now as well.
Yep.
But I hadn't met any as old as me. I believed I was the first. So there was certain experiences that are unique that I had, even as a person who identifies as a First Nations person. You know, traveling around, always looking different, and Bob Marley's another one who really suffered, you know, not just from the whites but from his own mob as well.
Yep.
And we have a word for that. We call that lateral violence. But you know, there's just a uniqueness to my experience that I believe, although I did things that a lot of other people have done. I was also, you know, I forgot what I was going to say there now, but yeah, just a little bit of a unique kind of a path that I had to walk, and Radical I just knew that I was different. So Radical is in difference, and son, I just really wanted people to know I was the son of an Aboriginal woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Hey, I want to know if you could go back in time. Now, people ask this question a lot of times, and you hear it all the time, people asking them, but I've got a little bit of a spin to it. If you could go back and see your younger self, what would that younger self say to you now?
It would say that you are valued.
Yep.
Understand that all these people that are hurting you, you know, they too have suffered.
Yep.
And to forgive them, you know, within ourselves, we hold the key. We can change things for ourselves and make the lives of others better in the process.
Yeah, cool. Now, this week is obviously NAIDOC week, which is really great that I get to speak to you on during this time. Do you think, this is a bit off track from the music, but do you think we could do more through educating people in schools about the culture and of the Indigenous people and the First Nations of Australia and the islands?
I think so. I mean, the curriculum, in terms of who decides what's important to be taught to the children, needs to be looked at, questioned, scrutinised, and definitely changed. You know, so often I've heard people, you know, saying that life skills, for example, should be taught. To others, and going back to what I said about Aboriginal culture, and trying to prevent people from learning from the Book of Hard Knocks. There's certain stories that I believe that we can tell, so that may help, and I'm a big believer of that.
Yeah. What about First Nations languages? Do you reckon that'd be a good start in the schools? Because, like, I remember when I went to school, we had to choose between subjects like learning how to speak Greek or Italian. Do you reckon learning a First Nations language would be a good start in schools?
Yeah, there's challenges that come with that though as well. Like, as much as it's great to say, you know, we should teach more culture, then if you dive in deeper, like you should come up with find the challenges that are there. So, like, one of my songs is called Elder.
Yes.
You know, I wish to be an elder. You know, part of me wants to plant the seed in in others to encourage our mob, our young ones to, you know, be something that is us, that is our culture, rather than being their identity focused on what you are employed to be.
Yep. No.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just going to say that it's one thing just to say we need culture or to say we need language, and I'm taking and I'm coming from a perspective. I'm here in New South Wales, where culture's been changed more so than it may be in other countries. But it wasn't so long ago I was in Western Australia in Perth, and I was quite surprised to hear that there's only a couple hundred that can speak the language fluently.
Yep.
So, there's phrases like lost in translation. So, for example, a lot of the languages here in Sydney and even a lot of the cultural knowledge is passed down, like from a journal of a white settler.
Yeah.
And we've got to be careful what it is that we're pushing, what it is that we're teaching, and it's almost, we want to avoid being like a cult, where in terms of like a cult, we're taking little bits from here and there and putting it out like it's the new thing. Because
there's something like over 200 Indigenous First Nations countries, so it would make it a bit tricky trying to work it out. But I think 1 week a year is just not enough for us to learn about our culture, because at the end of the day, it is our culture as well.
What I love, if we're doing it right, there's so many things that need to be addressed that I can think of. But one sign that we're doing it right is that there's not just a few elders in the community.
Yep.
Everyone is an elder in the community.
Yep.
And if that and the position, the title of elder can be taken away. If you're an elder who abuses others, even if it's just lateral violence, lose your title.
Yep.
But we've got this way where people are locked into this power trip.
Yep.
And I think we're suffering for that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can, through music and art and sport, we can overcome that. So I just think a week's not enough. Which is going to bring me back to the music and to you again, is that talking to you, you have like a soft, well-spoken voice. And when you hear your songs, especially when you Call My Name and the Yuluwirri Wandabaa, when you hear those songs and in Elder, your voice is so much different. You have a different presence. It's like haunting almost. It's like you're summoning a different person.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, I hope. Well, it's meant to be a compliment. Yeah, it's different. It's like I urge everyone to have a listen to the songs and the tracks. So it's
and especially someone who grew up, and as many of our communities are kind of being dominated by those who are just being loud and aggressive, and there's so many that are quiet and saying nothing, and it just really bothers me that.
Yeah. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to end the first part of the conversation here, and thank you for joining us. And I want everyone to go and listen to the music Until You Call My Name, Elder, and Yuluwirri Wandabaa, which is off the new album, which is released on the 12th, which is called Bill and Beal. Is it Bill and Beal?
Yeah.
Yep. Which translates to The Learning, which is out July 12th. So, I want to thank you for joining us for that.
Spirit dreaming, serpent dreaming, the rainbow dreaming, spirit dreaming. What you want, got that for ya. Not too late, don't give up. The road ahead, it opens for us, it opens to us. Devoted to you, what you want, got that for ya. Rainbow dreaming, not too late, don't give up. The rainbow dreaming, it never stops. We got one, the rainbow dreaming. we've known it from the start. Do whatever it don't take. What you want, got that for ya. Not too late, don't give up. Initiated to lively hearts, to bring good feelings.
We hear the calling from beyond me, because it lives on nature's passage. Feel the magic, earth and water. Hope believes, still written in it.
Sweet surrender, feel your race, to light my day. The people right there. What you want, got that for ya. Rainbow dreaming, not too late. Don't give up. The rainbow dreaming never stop. With your point, the rainbow dreaming. Open to the healing power. The rainbow dreaming. Sons of loving, to giving over. You pass it on. Feel fantastic. A little crazy. Bring that loving. Rekindle it. Consecrated. Sweet surrender.